Before we get started, if you live in the Oliver community and you're from here, please raise your hand. All right. So you're the most important people here. We're just the bystanders, and we're going to come in and at your lead try to do some good government. One of the things that the mayor, one of the ideas the mayor came up with, I'm very excited today. The mayor, since she's been the mayor, has been equal to a whole host of emergency situations. And she always said to me, like, why can't we do this when it's normal time? Why can't we organize this during normal time? So she charged me and my office and Kevin Cleary and some others with really bringing the citizens, the private sector, nonprofits, religious groups, and government together to work in an organized fashion to make some progress. And so one of the things you're going to see today is the use of the incident command system, which is really a system which helps us to make the best use of time and resources to get stuff done. So I couldn't be more proud to sit next to the mayor and to work with all of you on what I think is going to be just a terrific week of progress and activities. So what I'll do is, if it's okay with the mayor, I'll just go through as we would conduct a normal emergency briefing, kind of give everybody, okay, after the mayor makes her remarks, give everybody a little taste of how we're going to be organized for the week.
First, thank you, Bob, for getting everybody together, and to our community leaders who are here. I was just like, they told me Jack was in here. I was looking around and see you all like incognito in your hat. Council President, thank you for being here. Councilman Stokes, thank you for being here. And to the community leaders, again, thank you. Thank you for your commitment, your dedication, and your faith in the future of your neighborhoods and your neighbors. If you didn't believe that things could be better in the Oliver community, you certainly wouldn't be here. I share your belief, and I also share your commitment to making it better. Bob is right. We've been through, crazy tornadoes, earthquake, derecho, the four-letter word that begins with S and ends with O, W, that I won't use until we are officially in spring. But we've been through it all, and what I've seen in those times is we come together. We come together. Every part of government comes together. All of the resources on the table in an effort to make things better, in an effort to make things right. And that's what we're doing here. It's a tried and true method of dealing with incidents, and that's what we have here. Everybody from our human service partners, thank you very much. United Way is here, our 211 partner. Vacants to value, our housing people are here. I could go through the room. You know who you are, you know why you're here, and we're going to go through that. But I just want to say thank you, because by everybody in this tent, everybody, including the residents, given their all, we're going to see a change, we're going to make a change, and we're going to make sure that this community has the future that we believe in. So I want to thank, again, everyone, our public safety partners, because I know in a big way, Commissioner, we are leaning on you to take back some of the streets in Oliver. And I'm also dependent on the community. We're here because I've heard you. You said you wanted better, and you said that you know how we can get there. So please, this is the beginning. It is not the end. We need to stay in constant communication so we can make sure we get this right. So again, I want to thank everyone for coming here, particularly the council president and Councilman Stokes. I am looking forward to having great success, and I want the community members in Oliver to know it's not just Oliver that is going to benefit. If we can make this work here, this is a model that we can take throughout the city. We know we have more committed residents just like you in other neighborhoods throughout the city who are looking for the same changes. So I'm hopeful that your leadership in this effort will be a beacon of light for other communities in the city, so we can take this show on the road and really turn things around in the city. So thank you all very much. I'm sorry, and I didn't mention Pastor Prentice. Thank you very much, Pastor Keene, the Oliver Bill team, and I know I mentioned community in general, but I do want to thank the Oliver Community Association, and I mentioned United Way, but our other not-for-profit partner. Sorry, I missed you by name, but you know I appreciate your leadership. Thank you very much.
Okay, so with any operational briefing, what we'll do is we'll start out with the goals and objectives. They're on the 5th page of your incident action plan. First is maintain command and control throughout the event. So there will be someone in charge. There will be a group of people making decisions collectively, all of us joining together, and we will be here through Saturday. There will be specific operational periods which everyone can count on to plan accordingly. We will provide for the safety of initiative volunteers and all partners. And so one of the things that we need to look out for today is the weather. We're going to make sure we keep our volunteers nice and dry. So logistics, if you need resources to do that, umbrellas or raincoats or whatever, please make that happen. Number 3 is to support the operations of the Baltimore Police Department during this initiative. There's going to be some crime fighting going on, some removal of some bad actors in the drug trade, amongst other things. So we're going to be supporting the police department doing that. Function, this is very important for all stakeholders. Function at all times as respectful guests in the Oliver neighborhood. Act to provide information to the residents of Oliver neighborhood regarding resources that are available to the community. Identify city service items that need correction and record them for correction. Listen to the concerns of the residents we meet and address them. Work to connect community members to the resource partners engaged in the initiative. And number 9, if it's broken, let's try to fix it. So if the street light's out, if there's trash in the alley, if there's a tree that needs trimming, if there's a tree that needs replacing, we got 4 days to make it happen. Let's bring some resources to bear. Let's listen to the citizens here, and let's make a difference. Our safety message as always, members keep communications with a portable radio, maintain situational awareness, dress appropriately for weather conditions, monitor your radio, maintain accountability and report in, maintain adequate hydration, see something, say something, report any suspicious activity immediately to operations. Our incident is broken up into to those of you who are new to this, what we do is we organize really in 4 key areas. So it's operations, which is really the boots on the ground, the people on the ground making the difference, the logistics to support those, the finance to track the costs, the planning group, which kind of reevaluates where we are through the 4 days and maybe tweaks things a little bit in the directions we go in, and last but not least, the evaluation component and the AAR. So when we leave, we'll be able to mark our progress, how much we've done, to hopefully take this as a model and to build upon it and to recreate it in other areas of our great city. So at this time, what I'd like to do is to introduce to the operational commander, Kevin Cleary. Kevin's really functioned as the planning person up to this point. He's now going to switch over to the operations chief, and Kevin will introduce each branch director under operations to say a quick couple sentences about what they envision for the next 4 days as far as the progress that they're going to ascertain while we're all here together.
Thank you, Chief Maloney. The mayor mentioned this is a pilot program. I promise the first thing in the AER is we need a bigger tent. But also, Chief, before jumping into operations, we have some guests here that just want to say a few words of greetings. So if I could ask Reverend Keene to give you words of greeting here as a member of the community.
First, I'd like to say I'm a native Baltimorean. Grew up right here in Oliver, just 2 blocks down the street. I have the privilege of pastoring the church I grew up in, Memorial Baptist on Carolina Preston. And so I'm very happy to have Mayor Rawlings-Blake, City Council President Jack Young, Council Representative Carl Stokes here in the Oliver community. It's my honor to have you all here. I want you to know that Oliver is a vibrant and growing community, and as a member of Build Memorial Baptist, along with other member churches, Zion Baptist, the Ark Church, Knox Presbyterian, and St. Francis Xavier, have committed to the work of rebuilding here in the Oliver community. Build has a 35-year history of building here in Baltimore, from the living wage effort to building homes in Sandtown, Winchester, to the Child First Authority that's in 14 schools, after-school programs in Baltimore. And here in Oliver, the Build churches have invested $1.2 million and partnered with the city, the state, and federal agencies in order to rebuild in this community. We've also partnered with private foundations and raised a $10 million reinvestment fund where we're building new homes here in the Olive community. In collaboration with our primary partner, the Reinvestment Fund in Philadelphia, we formed TR Development Partners and have invested over $32 million in Baltimore City since 2005. And we are currently sitting in the midst of the Oliver community, where over 70 new homes have been built and renovated, and as a result of our efforts. Preston Place has employed some 85 persons since its inception. Currently 85% of them are Baltimore residents, and 68% of them are minority workers. And we continue to be very optimistic about Baltimore's future, not just here in Oliver, but Baltimore, and particularly here in Oliver, where Build's efforts have paved the way for other developers, such as Come Home Baltimore, to come in our community and to begin to rebuild. So not only are there other private investors, but I'm just excited about Mayor Rawlings-Blake's commitment to Baltimore with the Vacancy to Value program. I'm significantly excited about this public safety initiative here in Oliver, and I too believe it can be a model that can be spread throughout Baltimore City. I will caution you, because having been in the community for some time, you may find some people who are very receptive to you being here, but then there are others who are going to be suspicious because they aren't accustomed to having this type of activity in the community. But I believe that if we go about doing it as the Deputy Chief has already stated, that we'll find that the residents are very excited that you're here, and when they recognize that there's a partnership that's going to change this community, they will be excited, as all of you are, and excited as I am. Thank you so much for coming to Oliver. We're glad that you're here. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Now, I'm not sure if it's Minister Dunaway or Howard. You giving brief? Howard Roberts from the Oliver Community Center and Association.
Thank you, Mr. Cleary. Again, welcome all. We look at you more as future residents of Oliver than anything else. We're looking forward to this opportunity, any opportunity that gives us an opportunity to take advantage of all of the resources the city makes available in collaboration with the energy and interests of the residents of Oliver. We look forward to. So we're looking forward to not only taking part in the door knocking process, the what we're calling the Resource Day on Saturday at Oliver, in addition to all the other opportunities to follow up on not only the needs, but the future objectives of the residents. We're looking forward to that. We want to thank you again, Mayor, for being here, Council President, Councilman, as well as the pastors, and we look forward to this collaboration.
Thank you.
Our last guest from the community speaking, Earl Johnson. I saw you hiding over there from Operation Oliver, and then we'll get into the operations piece. Earl?
Hey, y'all. I'm new to the group. I wasn't born in Baltimore. I've only been here less than 2 years. Most of the work that's been done in Oliver has been laid. The foundation's been laid by the pastors, by the councilmen, by all the other leaders. By far, I don't consider myself a community leader. I consider myself an individual who saw the work they've been doing, who saw the work that developers like Build and David Berensky, Come On Baltimore have been doing, and decided to pitch in. You know, it's a military way to see a problem and try to fix it. You know, I don't have all the solutions, but I know that Oliver is a great place to live. I chose to live here. I could have chosen anywhere in the country to live, but I chose Oliver. And I chose Oliver because of his bones. Has great bones. Unfortunately, there's some issues. There's some drug issues, there's some crime issues, just like anywhere else in Baltimore or anywhere else in the country. But I think now is the time for the good people to stand out of the shadow. The bad people have been in the spotlight way too long. And it's time for us to stand in the light. And I think the mayor, along with her staff, have decided, yeah, it's time for us to stand in the light. And we all should get together and figure out a way to fix our issues. Because all of it's growing. It's going to grow with or without anyone's help. But if we push it along a little harder, maybe we'll get more residents out of this. Maybe we'll get a little bit more shine out of this. So I'm just finding my little piece in this and working with Come On Baltimore and working with my veterans. We need something to do. I mean, we've done a lot for our country, but we don't know how to measure that. How do you measure a war? What good we did? We want to measure our work by doing what back in our community. So challenge us, give us something to do, and I'm pretty sure you'll like the results of what we can do.
Thank you. Now, running through the operation structure regarding public safety, we have Captain Quick. I don't see you. Oh, okay. I feel safer now between the commissioner and the captain. We have a PowerPoint. Matt, I'm going to charge you with, it should be there in the PowerPoint, if you can punch it up for the captain.
Sure.
Captain, do you want to step up here a little bit? We're calling this the Oliver Public Safety Initiative for a reason. I'll turn this over to Captain Quick.
I'm going to stand next to Kim where I feel safest. Again, Captain Rob Quick of the Eastern District, Major Keith Matthews, my commanding officer of the Eastern District, just joined us in the tent. Again, just really briefly kind of give you an idea of what we're doing in Oliver. Basically, the boundaries, we've split Oliver into two zones for our primary purposes. North Avenue to Middle Street, Broadway to Eden as being Zone 1. Next slide, please. And then basically the Eden to Ashworth being Zone 2. So we've dedicated some resources from the BPD as far as officers from our discretionary units who are going to concentrate Zone 1, Zone 2. That'll be their real estate, live it, learn it, love it, to make enforcement in those areas. Basically, some of the strategies that we're using, knock and talks will be conducted. Again, we know who the known bad guys are, our registered gun offenders, our robbery recidivists, our burglary recidivists, etc. The bad guys in the neighborhood, we're just making a regular community of knocking on the door, saying hi, let them know we know who they are, where they are, and to try to keep their act in check. Curfew violations, we're having some issues with juvenile crime in the community and the district as a whole. So we're going to try to ramp up our daytime curfews for the kids not in school. Nighttime curfews is for the kids hanging out late at night. Narcotics enforcement, again, we all know really the biggest problem in Oliver is the thriving drug trade. We've made some really great strides, taking out some organizations lately. Pastor, hopefully the area in front of Caroline and Leadville has been much better since Christmas. That was the Christmas present to the Oliver community. Was 30 indictments working with the State Attorney's Office, Mr. Hazel, Mr. Bernstein, as well as our federal partners. We were able to take out one drug organization from top to bottom. Unfortunately, there's more than one organization in Oliver, so we still have work to do. Which segues me into, again, State Attorney's Office. Basically, every arrest that's made in Oliver is being set aside special. We have a dedicated prosecutor from Mr. Bernstein's office who is looking at these cases, making sure that they get the maximum attention that's actually needed, that they don't slip through the cracks. Next, please. Quality of life crimes, again, we know zero tolerance doesn't work, but at the same time, we understand the community wants relief from the nuisance crimes, the open drinking, the loitering, etc. So we are using that as part of our strategy. Outside agencies, again, beginning March 12th, as we are here right now, housing, sanitation, health department, etc., all working in conjunction with the police department to try to address some of the other structural issues. And number 7, the satellite police station. Earl was gracious enough to allow us to use the model at 1400 Bond here as a satellite Eastern District police station for the Sector 2 officers. This is Sector 2 of the Eastern District. So for the last couple of days and for the next couple of days, we will be conducting all our shift change, roll calls, whatnot, actually at this location. So it kind of makes it look like there's a mini police station right smack in the middle of the Oliver community. So thank you, Earl. slide, please. We're also using some of the undercover officers in the community doing by bus. Literally just before this started, I heard several arrests that were made in the 1700 block of Broadway, as well as Bond and Lafayette, just this morning as we were set up here. So again, just be mindful. You're going to see some people in the community that are officers in plain clothes. Next, please. And then just a real brief description of events for the next couple of days. Obviously, the kickoff that we have here today with Madam Mayor. Essentially, we are here for that. Next slide, please. Tomorrow, as was the plan today, was for our NSU officers, neighborhood services officers, to partner with some of the other city services and do a walkthrough in Oliver to offer some other services. I believe the decision has been made to cancel that for today based on weather. As such, we will have those officers still deployed in the community for presence and hope that out. But hopefully by tomorrow, if the weather improves the remainder of the week, again, that will be part of it. The outreach walkers with police presence and escorts. Next, please. On Thursday, March 14th, neighborhood exchange with the Eastern District officers, 1,600 to 1,800 hours at the Oliver Community Center. Basically, we're going to cycle every officer that works the neighborhood through to make sure that if relationships aren't already made with the clergy and the community folks and whatnot, that it'll be some FaceTime for everyone to get to know each other and get to know the officers who are patrolling your neighborhood. Next, please. And then the Peace Walk on Friday from 1,800 hours. I believe Madam Mayor may participate in that as well, schedule permitting. Again, that's going to kick off the Oliver Center at 1,800 hours. Again, tour the Eastern District with some of our clergy and have some community outreach and some prayer in the community. Next, please. And then Saturday, the final day, a resource fair at Oliver, again from 9:30 to 1400. I'm understanding there'll be some employment opportunities there. Other city services, BPD recruitment, and explorers will be there as well. So again, we'll be on site to try to help out with that as best we can. Next, please. And briefly, just the crime in Oliver year to date. Violent crime in Oliver is down 27% and 25%. Respectively, year to date. Essentially, what you're looking at there is the shaded area is what we call our Oliver enforcement zone. That's our area of concentration. Again, that's the Eden Street to Broadway, north to middle. But then collectively, the larger box is the entire Oliver community. And again, in the special enforcement zone, violent crime is down 27%. In Oliver as a whole, violent crime is down 25%. Unfortunately, property crime is up, and it is largely burglaries of the houses under construction. And I've worked with Kim and I've worked with Earl and some of our other developers just to try to harden some of these targets. But in the process of rehab, we have people coming in, stealing copper pipes, taking the contractors' tools, et cetera, et cetera. So again, from the police perspective, we're trying to focus a little bit more on those, and we just ask help from the developer's perspective. Don't make it easy targets for these guys to be able to walk in and grab the property. And I'm convinced that that's going to turn around. Last slide, just real briefly, the enforcement efforts in Oliver. Again, that's the Oliver neighborhood as a whole. Year-to-date, enforcement is up 7%. That's actually shown red in the special enforcement zone, but what is not included in those numbers, again, was our federal arrest that we made late last year. So again, that technically went on 2012's numbers, but I think actually if you put that in, enforcement is up, and I think I see an impact in the neighborhood since that as far as decreased activity. Hopefully those of you who are here every day agree with that as well.
Thank you, sir. And let me just...
I did forget to thank the State Attorney's Office. Thank you very much for being here. And the Eastern District officers, I know being a part of this and being engaged in this means really shaking up the way you do business. Doing the roll call over at the model home is a meaningful thing that we're doing, but I know it requires a lot from the officers. So please express from me the gratitude that I have for their willingness to be a real part of the solution here in Oliver.
Yes, ma'am.
And I do think that we have one Oliver resident here who has been here for, at least one who's been here for more than 30 years, and that's Ms. Brothers. And I wanted to thank you.
Hey, Ms. Butler.
That's been here for 30 years. Who else has been here for more than 30 years? That's
Well,
not
I'm
30 years.
You're right.
29.
But I do want to, Pastor, thank you, and Mrs. Brothers, because this is what it's about. You know what Oliver can be. And just the fact that you're here means so much to me. I really do want to thank you.
Can I?
Well, hang on a second. We're going in order, please. Very tight schedule. Next, as I thank you, Madam Mayor, for that segue. I call on Deputy State's Attorney George Hazel to give his report. And I mentioned to all of my people here, we're here to give a briefing, which means brief reports.
I think that's a hint that he tells the lawyer to be brief. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to be very brief. I just want to say on behalf of the State's Attorney, Greg Bernstein, our office is thrilled to be a part of this initiative. We're thrilled to help in any way we can, any way in which the mayor and Deputy Maloney feels we can be of help. We're certainly willing to be of help. For us, this is really something that is really connected to something we've tried to do. About a year or so ago, Mr. Bernstein decided to restructure the office around the community prosecution model. And the idea behind that was that instead of just having ASAs who know narcotics and know guns and know other types of crimes, to actually have ASAs who know the communities in which they're serving. So they can tell the difference between a case that's going to matter and a case that doesn't matter. Between the defendants who are really driving the violence in the area and knowing where to focus their resources to actually have an impact in the communities. And so what we're doing here is really sort of an outgrowth of that, and we're just excited to be a part of it. Now not only do we have ASAs who are going to be assigned to the Eastern District as a whole as a result of this initiative, we now have ASAs who are going to be assigned specifically to the Oliver community. As Captain Quick mentioned, there will be cases that come in, those cases will be flagged. As we see those cases coming in, we will highlight them for special attention, and that can mean a lot of things. As an initial matter, it means certainly separating out those defendants who we know, might need some services and might need some help and might need some things to get back on their feet, and those defendants who frankly just need to go away for a while and who have had their chance and who just continue to cause problems in the community and who need to stay in jail. And so as a part of that, we'll be looking at bail recommendations as cases come in, trying to see high bails or no bails for defendants who, again, have proven themselves over and over again to be a problem in the community. We will be trying to aggressively prosecute using mandatory sentences when applicable and when we feel it's warranted based on their activity in the area. And really just doing everything we can to be aggressive, to be targeted, to be focused on going after the worst of the worst in this community and making sure those people get off the street, and after Captain Quick and his folks do their work, that they stay off the street. And so that's our way of trying to help. Again, we're excited, we're thrilled, we think this is going to be a phenomenal opportunity to really make an impact in this community, and we're glad to help. Thank you.
Make sure they're ready because of the weather. We will not be doing the deployment for door knocking, but the person who will be leading that task is Charles Smith, who's president of our Citizen Board. Charles, a really 30-second description of what you're going to be doing tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday morning.
Hello again, my name is Charles Smith, the president of the Baltimore CERT Community Emergency Response Team, Citizens Court Council. I'll be in charge of the door knocking, and our main goal is to get the citizens along with the teams engaged and also make them feel personally invited to the resource fair. As far as CERT and Citizens Council Corps, we look forward to working with the city and other resources in the future.
Thank you, Charles. Next, I'd like to call on Sarah Morris Compton, representing the Health Department. They've done a phenomenal job of creating a major event on Saturday.
Thank you, Kevin. So just really quickly, I'll share a little bit about some of the services that the Health Department will be bringing in collaboration with various partners. And as residents' needs are identified through the door knocking, we hope that we've been able to bring both our resources in the Health Department, but also reaching out to our partners who aren't within city government. So some examples of some of the services that will be available to residents of the neighborhood. During the resource fair, we'll have the needle exchange van out, where there are concerns related to substance abuse. The needle exchange program also has slots for treatment. So I know one of the issues that's been identified in this neighborhood is access to substance abuse treatment, and that's something that the needle exchange van will be able to assist with. Additionally, the mobile HIV STD testing will be available in the area near the community center. Within the resource center, there'll be our Be More for Healthy Babies. So the range of services related to maternal and child health will be there for people who want to attend. Immunizations, cancer treatment information. In addition to the State Department of Human Services will be there to provide information about SNAP services. And I'm pleased to also acknowledge the Delmarva Foundation of Maryland. They have a very innovative program focused on senior nutrition, which is actually launching in April, but they'll be attending the resource fair, so residents who attend the fair will learn about this ongoing program that will be essentially a one-stop shop for seniors who are interested in access to food, but also physical activity programming and a number of health screenings related to chronic disease. So those are just a few of the things that will be available to each person on Saturday.
Thank you, Sarah. Next, we're going to move into the neighborhood activities. And again, I'll ask people to be very brief. I know the commissioner has a PowerPoint. Mac, can you cue that up for the commissioner?
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Setting the stage. We're here because of vacancy value.
Excuse me. Thank you. No problem. Thank you, Kevin and Madam Mayor. Thank you for bringing us all together here. Really, I think what's important here is that you asked us to put together a program to address vacant housing in this city. And we've done that, and we've worked with you. You've been to many of our events. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the background and then zoom in on Oliver.
And very briefly, sir, because we're...
Okay, but it is important that, and you recognize that we need all the other services, so police, fire, transportation, DPW, health, and so forth, and community. So everybody knows the problem, 16,000 vacants, how we got here, 50 years population loss, all that. The mayor asked us to put together a strategy. It's 6 prongs. I'm going to just quickly go through some of those that relate to, especially to Oliver. The first one was streamlining the disposition of city-owned property. We've done that. We do it 3 times as fast now, and we've sold 5 times as many houses in the last year as the year before we started. Get those properties back out for use. Doesn't do any good for us to sit on. Second strategy is streamline code enforcement using the $900 citation. And I want to thank the City Council, President Young and Councilman Stokes and the entire council. These are the kinds of tools that make a difference. Being able to go out there, it's like a parking ticket as opposed to sending a lawyer to prosecute every case. Let's go to strategy 3. Strategy 3 really directly relates to Oliver. It's a strategy where we recognize there are pockets of strength abutting other areas of strength. So here we have Hopkins, we have the East Baltimore Development Initiative area, and we have Oliver abutting all of that strength, and also there's proximity to downtown and the Midtown area. So very, very much a neighborhood with a lot going for it. So how do we build on that? So what we've done is we've used those code enforcement tools. Bottom line is we've seen over $47 million of private investment already. We've seen citywide. We've seen 975 properties in the 2 years that we've been at it that have been fully renovated or under construction. We use a receivership tool, which is very important, where our lawyers go to court if the owner refuses to do the right thing. We go to court and get a receiver appointed. The property is auctioned off. Madam Mayor, we have approximately 1,000 properties in the receivership pipeline. So between those that are under rehab or completed and the pipeline, we're talking close to 2,000 vacant properties. Let's quickly go to home buyer incentives. Ken Strong is here and his team. We have $10,000 home buyer incentives for people buying formerly vacant houses. We've done 123 of those to date. Madam Mayor, 28% of those are to new residents of the city. Also, I want to highlight here, Wells Fargo City Lift Program, $15,000 home buyer incentives. There are 66 commitments to date. Please note this, on April 5th and 6th at the Convention Center, there'll be a major event for people who want to get the $15,000 incentive. You must sign up in advance. So we'll have information about that at our booth on Saturday at the fair. We zoomed in on Oliver. Oliver, Madam Mayor, had more than 300 vacants of approximately 1,200 properties in that footprint when we started. It's an area, as I said, with a lot of strength, but we needed to address those vacants. Today, as a consequence of the activity to date, the vacants in Oliver have dropped from 327 to 236 in the first 2 years. So that is a huge success there, and we're going to continue to work. So let's keep going in. Now, these last images are just images of work. Now, these were the first, this actually predates vacancy value, but these were the first new houses in Oliver, just around the corner here. First new houses built in 50 years, Preston Place, TRF and Build, I want to thank you for your partnership here. Here's before and after on the 1200 block of North Bond Street, a street characterized by many, many vacants, now shiny new houses. 1500 block of East Biddle, same thing. 1400 block of North Bond Street. You can see all the signs here. 1200 block of East Eager Street. And this is the one that everybody sees driving up and down. This is the 1200 block of Broadway, all the burned out buildings. Here it is today. TRF and Build. Okay, in conclusion, the program works, but we need a holistic approach with all the other support services, so we very much appreciate that. Our people will be here all week. Deputy Commissioner Schreiber is in the back here as well. His team will be here, and Deputy Strong's team will be here throughout the week. And then on Saturday the 16th, please go to the resource fair, because both of them will have tables there talking about how you get home energy assistance, weatherization, other light services, how you can get those Wells Fargo grants, and so forth. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Director Fox, can you give a presentation on the workings of DPW?
It's a great opportunity to be here to work with the Oliver community and all the other city agencies. As you know, we have Ms. Torina here, who is the community liaison and been working with many of the community associations, and she will be with the entire group the whole week. The things that we offer is keeping the Oliver community clean, and we have the solid waste that's doing the trash pickup. We're also pushing recycling, but if there's any area that deals with trash, that's where the Department of Public Works will be, picking up trash. Dirty alleys, we have crews dedicated totally to just cleaning up dirty alleys. If you see any, but you can help us out, and you can help out ACD. If you see someone dumping, please call us so we can react very quickly to stop it. Most of the time, it's been there for days, and we have to come out there and clean it up, and it's difficult trying to check who did it days later. So we ask for your help in doing that. Our goal is to keep Baltimore clean and achieve the mayor's goal of 10,000 families in 10 years. And a clean city will draw people to Baltimore City. So that's what we want to do, and you can help us out in doing that. We also have rat abatements. If you see rats running around, let us know so we can get our crews out there to do rat baiting and get rid of those rats. Help us out when your neighbors put out trash, have them put the lids on the trash can. Rats go where there's a food source, and you've heard that over and over again. Put the lids on the trash can, and that will help us out. So we have the solid waste and water and wastewater. If there's sewer backups, if there's drainage issues, we have our crews going around all of the community. We'll be with the walkthrough, checking those areas to make sure your storm drains are clean, that your streets are swept, and that there's no leaking water lines throughout the area. So we have crews out there. We won't be checking today, because we won't know if it's a leak or not. But we will have, when it dries up, we'll have crews out there checking to see if there's water leaks in there. So that's what DPW will do.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Murphy, can you give a report of the Department of Transportation?
Good morning. My name is Frank Murphy. I'm the Acting Director of Transportation. I drive through the Oliver community every day on my way to work because I live in Northeast Baltimore. I've seen a lot of the signs of progress, many of which Commissioner Graziano showed. Very exciting things going on here. We're very happy to be part of this. Our issue mainly is fixing up the infrastructure, keeping things in good service.
Hold on, Frank. I want to turn the rain up a little bit more.
I know everybody here. There's really kind of three time frames to what we're doing. We work with Kevin on the preparations for this. The most visible sign is the fencing that we installed in this block. We have a team of inspectors here today. They're going to be out roaming through the neighborhood looking for potholes and things that need fixing. They'll be out tonight looking for street lights that are out. We're going to get all that in the 311 system. And then starting tomorrow, have teams out here fixing things. We also have a long-range plan that we're going to do. We're going to be working with the residents of the area and with Commissioner Graziano's folks to develop a comprehensive plan to look at traffic issues, identify speeding problems, traffic concerns, parking shortages, so we can come up with a plan to address those kinds of things. So, thank you for letting us participate.
Thank you.
All right, can you hear me? Our main focus is to make sure that everybody's safe within their home. Our main focus is to make sure we educate people on how to be safer, fire safety, in-home safety. Really going to focus on making sure everybody has a working 10-year battery smoke alarm. So that's what our major focus is. We're going to be using the people from our operations side of the house. And we're going to really focus on fire safety and protecting the properties as we go through the neighborhood. Thank you.
Again, these are the operations goals we've been up to. We have 5 more reports for the visual, but a yellow will be very brief. I'm going to call on Marie Cunningham to give a brief description of what the Community Action Partnership will be doing as part of the initiative.
Sure, I'll definitely be brief. I hope you can hear me. The Mayor's Office of Human Services Community Action Partnership is dedicated to providing quality services to the residents of the Oliver neighborhood with a focus on financial literacy, food nutrition, as well as energy assistance and credit improvement. So today we have a partnership with the Baltimore Cash Campaign, and we'll be preparing taxes for low-income qualifying residents from 8:30 to 4:30. Thank you. But in addition to that, we'll be continuing that until April the 15th at each of our centers. Also from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. through our partnership with New Psalmist, we will be doing a healthy food demonstration and workshop where we'll be teaching residents how to shop for healthy foods, where to go, as well as doing a food demonstration. And we'll be giving out free food to residents who attend the workshop. And that will be from 10 until 12. In addition to that, we have the Maryland Volunteer Lawyers Services Partnership, and we will be providing clinics on legal services. So we'll be doing everything from family disputes to expungement to foreclosure prevention. And then lastly, we'll be doing our financial credit and literacy prevention initiative, and that will focus on how to read your credit report, how to not fall victim to credit card scams, and how to have healthy banking. So those are some of the things that we'll be providing today, but they will be ongoing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Diane Garrett, Mayor's Office of Economic Development, the Range Company. They're doing outreach at our resource fair, and their one-stop center at 3001 East Madison Street is available. They will be at our resource fair.
If you can get Diane to brief on that.
Sure, absolutely. Then moving down, instead of Greg Horn from BSAS, we have Rachel Indek, who will give a report from the Baltimore Substance Abuse System, which is a phenomenal partner.
Good morning. I'm Rachel Indek, representing our president, Greg Warren, who unfortunately was out of town. BSAS was very happy to partner with this program. We've actually been working in the Oliver community for a while now, but we have several initiatives working here. One of the ones, we actually fund the Operation Oliver, the 7th branch. We're very proud of that, which is the ongoing work to clean up the vacant area in the Oliver community. As part of this effort, we provided 4 members of the Baltimore Recovery Corps, which are members who have been in long-term recovery, who will be actively going door to door, and if people indicate that they have an interest in getting treatment now, we'll be able to help them get into treatment. We also have been working with providers throughout the area to have slots available, so if people indicate that they are ready to go into treatment, we'll be happy to help them get into those.
So Rachel, just to rephrase that, because it's very important for all of us. So if somebody decides they want to get off drugs and outreach workers go, approximately how many beds do you think you guys provide?
So we're actively working with people to make sure that people that are interested, we're going to get them into as soon as possible. We haven't saved aside certain beds for this.
But as soon as possible.
As soon as
right
possible.
now.
Yes.
Like, okay.
So people that are interested, we work to identify. So there will be slots available.
Right.
And there'll be someone in each of the 14. There'll be someone who's being doctors of it.
It's really important we like track that and make certain if we do get somebody in placement that we document it and we're trying to encourage that throughout the
One of the ways we're going to track that is we work with Healthcare Access Maryland with our information and referral line. So anyone that calls and accesses treatment, if we actually get them into a treatment slot, we'll be able to identify that they came from our outreach efforts. We'll be able to provide a report of that every one of the efforts. And then as well, on Saturday, Kelvin Silver, who's our Director of Special Population Services, will be coordinating our efforts, and we will have folks that are able to provide information about education and information about substance abuse, accessing treatment and recovery services. So as well, people that are interested in getting into treatment that maybe don't identify themselves during the door knocking, on Saturday will be able to go up and talk to someone about getting into treatment. Thank you very much.
Going from operations to planning, none of this happens without good planning, good people working on the plan. Captain Rich Williams from the Fire Department is our planning chief, and then he's going to introduce Chad Kenny from City Staff.
Thanks, Kevin. Actually, I'm kind of glad I got the sheet that was leaking, since it's myself and my crew that put the tent up. But I kind of felt bad if it was somebody else getting leaked on. So if you're getting dripped on, I apologize. We were hoping for a little bit better weather, but sorry, we'll take what we can get. I'm glad the temp's working out. I wish it was a little bigger, but all right, moving forward. You have the IAP, we've covered it. Under the page 6, Unified Command Organizational Structure. Actually, page 7, I'm at the top, planning section sheet. The org chart is on the whiteboard. We're kind of packed in here, but what we'll do is, if anybody's kind of curious as in the ICS or the NIMS, how we run any of our incidents or events, we follow the ICS structure, and we're doing that with this as well. First, I'll go ahead and Chad Kenny. He's going to be the situation unit leader, and I'll let you talk a little bit real quick about what you're going to be doing.
Good morning, everyone. Chad Kenny, Director of City Stat. We put together a tracker to just track all the operations and resources that all the agencies have presented. We'll be providing during this week. We've got one for the daily operations for the more operational agencies, 35 indicators, 31 services across about 9 agencies. We'll also be tracking the resource fair and connecting resources connecting people to resources at that. We've got 19 indicators for 16 services. I have it here, but I'm not going to take the time to pass it out. Someone from each agency should be reporting to us daily what you've done. So whatever you're going to do, please make sure you track. I want to reiterate that. And we'll find a way to give you credit for it. So make sure you get it in here and send that to me for now, and my analyst Jane Lewis, who's worked very closely with Kevin Cleary and the rest of the team to put indicators together. And if there's anything we missed, let's get it on here. I think that's it from my end.
All right, just thanks, Chad. Real quick, just to follow us, we track. When this is all over and done with, we're going to get an after-action report together. Basically, it's going to be made up of everything that we've collected, things that went well, things we could have done a little differently to make it easier or smoother. So based on this AAR, we can use that and turn it into our next IAP for our next neighborhood or the next part of the city that we move this project.
As you're explaining that, when you say the AAR and IAP, just explain that in all.
Yes, the IAP you have here, that's the Incident Action Plan. The AAR is the After Action Report. Basically capture what we've learned, what we did right, what we didn't do right. Like the yes, that's all I have.
Very good.
Very good. I want to thank you. I think we're just about the end. In terms of the operational period, we're now in our first period, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. We'll be deploying as city workers, door knockers. Tomorrow, we're supposed to have good weather through the rest of the week. And then from 3 p.m. around the clock to 8 a.m., Eastern District is going to be keeping the neighborhood safe and strong, using the model home as their base. So, and then hopefully folks will come to the resource fair on Saturday. And again, your work counts, so count your work. Madam Mayor, thank you for bringing this all together here.
Just before we go, I want to give the mayor the last word. Two things. So this tent, everybody when they were kids played kick the can, right? Okay, so you set up a can, you run, somebody kicks the can. Always come back to the tent. Always come back to the tent with your information, with your dialogue. If you want to converse issues, if you guys want to debate. The key here is we need to think of what we can do for sustainability. So as everyone is gathering together and you're sharing ideas, make sure they get documented, but use this tent as kind of like a focal place. Any problem you have, anything you need, no matter how small it is, come to us. Collectively, we'll figure out a way to do it. Be safe. Take care of each other. Enjoy each other's company. It's a great opportunity to really do some good, and it's going to be a great operational period. Madam Mayor, final words.
Thank you very much, Chief. I want to again thank everyone for coming out. I want to thank our neighborhood partners. Again, we can't do it without you. Please, you know what you've been doing, but what I notice about most real community leaders is they don't like to talk about what they're doing. But in order for this to work, we have to start and make sure that you're talk this up, because people need to know about the resource fair. People need to know about the fact that the firefighters are going to come knocking on doors, checking to make sure the homes are safe. That you're going to see additional presence in the community that you might not be familiar with, but people need to know what we're doing. That is very important. If you're here as a part of an agency, please remember to use the means that we have, including social media, to talk about what we're doing, get the information out. If you are a non-governmental partner, please again use the methods that you have to get the word out, to talk about the resources that are going to be available. None of these resources matter if we're not connecting them to as many people as possible. And when you look at who's going to participate in the resource fair, this has been carefully crafted to speak to the needs of this community. And it's only going to work if we make sure as many people as possible are there. So please, 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 we need, especially when it's raining. I'm prayerful that the rain will stop. With our luck, Bob, I don't know. But I know that we can. We've overcome more. We can overcome having to do all of this in inclement weather. And lastly, I cannot tell you how proud I am of all the team for coming together to put this together. I've been in elected office since 1995, and during my time, I spent a lot of time learning and listening and trying to figure out ways that we could do things better. And one thing I always knew, and I've always said, is when we work together, when we pull all of our resources together and we put everything on the table, that's when we'll have a chance to get the best that we can for our community. And that's what we're doing here. And I'm really hopeful, because I know that, these resources, Baltimore is resource rich. And we have to find new and creative ways to get those resources to the people that need them. And my hope and my prayer is that we found it in this strategy. And I know that if it's going to work, we have the right people around the table, in the tent, to make it happen. So thank you all for your commitment and for weathering this storm with us until we know that we get to better days on the other side. Thank you.
So our next briefing is Wentridge.